I'm Joel Fairbrother from Bow River Law in Calgary, Alberta. We're an employment law firm, and today I'm going to answer the question, should I have a lawyer review my severance agreement or my severance offer? The answer is absolutely you should have a lawyer review your severance agreement that your employer has offered you after termination of employment. You should have the employment lawyer review that prior to you signing it, of course, and prior to you negotiating with your employer, because if you sign it, it can be very challenging to get around a release, sometimes impossible. And if you negotiate with the employer, you might actually say things that could prejudice your case for further reasonable notice or severance going forward. So it's better for you to speak to an employment lawyer right after you get the offer and before you sign it. This is the case even if the amount that's being offered to you is something that you think is a good amount or that you're comfortable with, because there are many things that employers can put in those agreements, and there's always a release attached. There are almost always there are many things that employers or the lawyers really can put into those severance agreements and releases that are really unfavorable to you as an employee. There are certain clauses that deny you a lot of rights and impose more on you than a lot of people would think is reasonable. So, you need to fully understand. You should fully understand something before you sign it, because it's not going to be a defense later on that you didn't understand what you were signing. Most likely, if you speak English, you're probably not going to have a defense. And the clauses can contain things like, for example, there could be a clause that requires that if you breach any term of the release, you could be required to repay the entire amount of the release. That clause it's a lot of people would say that's really unfair. It depends. You might not be concerned about that, but maybe it would be better if you fully understand all of the things you're agreeing to before you agree that if you breach one of those things, you're going to repay the full amount. So anyway, the point is, even without a repayment clause, there are so many different types of clauses. There's clauses called non-disparagement clauses, confidentiality clauses, non-disclosure, non-solicitation. It's all sorts of things that employers slip into releases. And if you're not getting legal advice prior to signing it, you could be at a severe disadvantage, and you may have agreed to something that's perhaps not worth the amount of money you're getting out of it. I mean, I can't say without seeing it, but you need to know what you're signing so that you can decide for yourself whether it's worth it. Again, I'm Joel Fairbrother from Bow River Law, and I hope this has been helpful.